Hey guys, this is RyGuyGaming here today, back with a new video. And today we are going to be doing something a little different. I am actually going to be doing a recommendation video. I've done a couple of these in the past. I think I've done like 2 or 3, but I haven't done one in a long time and I wanted to do one. So normally what I like to do with these is I like to go to a game that I have played in the past or am currently playing or something, and I like to kind of show a spotlight on it for some of my younger viewers, or maybe people that have just never heard of these games before, so maybe they can give them a go and figure out if they're interested in it. So today I am going to be talking about Wizard101. This is a game I got back into recently. I think it started back in 2008 and has been going on decently strong ever since. Obviously not nowhere near as populated as it once was, and that's kind of why I'm making this video, but there's still a decent amount of people that play this game. It's probably one of the more populated games that I've played recently from when I was younger. Initially, I probably played this game around when I was 12. So anyways, we're just going to create a new character and go through the tutorial here. And so basically this is the whole character creation bit here. And I'll stop talking for a second so you can listen to some of this voice acting.
A young wizard, a student with amazing potential. Enough, perhaps, to save Wizard City.
Oh, really? Where?
Oh, a very...
So yeah, as you can see, this is just a small snippet, but the voice acting in this game is spectacular. Pretty much every character, in fact I think every character, is fully voice acted, and it's all excellent. It reminds me of old cartoons, and I really appreciate that they would take the time to do it, because not a lot of games do that kind of thing. So we're going to skip this test. This is kind of a personality test to figure out what, well, I guess we can go through it. It's to figure out what school of magic you use. So let's see, what's more important to you? We'll say this one. To be honest with you, as far as I understand it, none of these answers really matter except like 1 or 2. So you can kind of just answer whatever you want. My favorite class in school, probably math. My favorite season, definitely not winter, so I'll say fall. This one's kind of like that other question, huh? Sure. See, I think this is one of the questions that actually does matter. So one of the questions kind of narrows it down, and then the gemstone school makes the final, or excuse me, the gemstone question makes the final decision. This is the class I actually wanted to make, so it's good that we got it in the quiz. I don't know if you could tell, but I was trying to pick answers that would lead towards that. So yes, we are going to be playing as a fire wizard, but if we skip the test, you can see the other schools here. So you can pick any one of these. If you do decide to play based off my recommendation, I would recommend against balance as your first school, just because it's a little more difficult for a first-time player. You can still definitely play that way, but you might want to play with friends because it's a little difficult to play the game solo as a balance wizard. But if you play any of the other ones, you should be okay. If you play something like Ice or Life, your progression might be a little slower. Fire and Death are kind of a cakewalk. They're like playing the game on easy mode. Storm, I would say, is pretty good, but they have really low health, so you're kind of a glass cannon. But as long as you can kill enemies in the first couple turns, you'll usually be okay. You'll see what I mean by turns in a minute. And then Myth is kind of like middle of the road. Like, they're good at nothing, but they don't suck. This is what I main, and I'm having a great time with it. You get plenty of health, you get decent damage, so I think it's like a, if you want to be kind of an all-rounder, but you probably won't be asked to join a lot of groups, just because you don't hit as hard as someone like Fire or Storm. Death is probably the best if you're going in solo, because Death has a lot of spells that you can use to heal yourself while you damage enemies, so like drain effects and stuff. Anyways, I'll stop talking about that because I'm not trying to do like a tutorial here. I'm just trying to do an introduction for the game. So basically you can kind of click through and pick a preset. Obviously you don't have to be one of these wizards, but you're just kind of picking one that's like close to what you want. And then you can just go in and tweak it a little bit. So yeah, now I can click custom and then I can just go in and change everything. There's nothing too crazy in this game, but there's some decent stuff. I think these things with stars are members only, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong with that. I actually don't know why they have stars, to be completely honest with you. But as you can see, you can go through here and pick your hair color, your eye color, your like eye shape or whatever. So I'm going to be kind of skipping around here while I pick the different stuff. Okay, we'll go with blue eyes. We'll do blonde eyebrows to match. There's only a couple noses apparently. That's okay. Give me self glasses for that authentic Harry Potter feel. And I will say, oh, looks like we have freckles on. We don't want that. I will say that was probably one of the biggest appeals of the game, was how it was kind of like a Harry Potter thing. Like you could basically be a wizard and then run around and cast magic and stuff. Like the whole idea is that you're in like a wizard school, and so a lot of people really liked that when they started playing. So since I'm a fire wizard, I'll be red and orange. Okay, and now you pick your name. This is one of those things where you can only pick from a pre-selected list of names so that they can, you know, have an easier job of censoring it, because initially and still this game was made and marketed towards younger players. So you can even play this game as you're like younger than 13 or whatever. They do have like different chat filter options. However, if you're older than 13, you can have text chat instead of the quick chat. And if you're older than 18, I believe, you can have a less filtered version of the text chat. You still can't like do swears or anything like that. So there's definitely not as much freedom with the chat, but that's okay. There we go. We'll go with Ryan Firecaster. That's pretty cool. Alrighty. So once you create your character, you'll get booted back out here to the character select screen. So this is my myth wizard I was talking about. This is my storm wizard that I used to play as a child, but I haven't really touched. But we'll just go ahead and enter the tutorial. A couple things you'll notice right away. This game does not have strafing. It has rotate to when you push A or D. So like to turn, it's just rotating instead of strafing. Or you can use the mouse, of course. Or if you left click with the mouse, you'll just rotate the camera. Sorry if that made someone sick. And then if you want to talk to someone, you can click on them or push X. You can also use both mouse buttons to run. So technically you can almost play this game with only the mouse, but that's not entirely true. Sometimes you do need to use the keyboard for certain things. So I'm kind of just skipping a lot of the dialogue so that we can get to the combat, so I can show you guys that.
Ambrose.
This guy's voice acting is really cool.
You are no longer welcome here. Why have you returned?
I'm here to resolve our unfinished business. Is this your latest student? My henchman will see to your little friend.
Anyways, so yeah, this is basically how combat works. So when you have enemies you want to fight, you run into them, and then this giant sigil thing appears on the ground. And you'll notice right away that this is a card game. Yes, this is a turn-based card game where when you use your spells on the enemy, you cast the spell and then like summon a monster usually that will deal damage to your opponent. So for every spell, there's a really nice animation that plays where you get to watch these little monsters attack people, and the animations are great. Like, they're really quite excellent. So yeah, just like every other game, you have your health and your mana.
Attack his henchman again.
We are going to attack the same guy with the troll card. And so, as you can see, this is a turn-based game. I know that is a turn-off for a lot of people, and it was for me at first. Like, I don't really play a lot of turn-based games. I think I have only ever really played and enjoyed 2, this being one of them. Yeah, now he's gonna give us a heal spell. Wow, later in the game that spell does way more damage. It does like 300 or so, that's funny that they nerfed it so you don't die in the tutorial. So, these lights on the ground are your pips. You can see this little 3 up here in the corner. You need the corresponding amount of pips to be able to cast certain cards, so there's a little bit of a resource management thing going on with the card game. And as you can see, there's also percentage buffs and debuffs, so it really is just like a computer card game with really cool animations. So if you ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, or I guess you could technically still be watching it because I still think they have it going on with the newer series. It's pretty much like a Yu-Gi-Oh that's visual, which is really cool. So this spell is, I'm pretty sure this spell is an AoE, so it'll attack all the enemies. Sorry I'm skipping around. I bet you probably want to see the animations, but I don't want to really show all of them because a lot of the fun of this game is getting to see some of the really cool animations when you unlock them or you get them used against you. So I'm specifically trying to skip around a little bit when I'm not talking. Alrighty, so it's time to finish off this fight. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. So it's kind of funny when you finish a fight, your guy kind of dances around, and that can lead to some funny situations where your guy's just like dancing around in front of the people that they just defeated. So yeah, now he's telling us about our experience, blah blah blah. There's your quick chat, so you can say some stuff. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. If you're younger than 13, this is how you have to chat. Alrighty, so here we are. At the end of the tutorial, you can see that they gave us a nice little wand to have. And as you can see, he has an exclamation mark over his head, so we can figure out what our next quest is. I guess we're still on rails. I can't leave till I talk to him. So while you're technically done with the tutorial, you're still kind of on rails throughout this next little bit. And so, I don't want to make this video too long because, like I said, this isn't supposed to be like a walkthrough of the tutorial, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the combat. So I do want to do one more fight here so I can show you what a normal fight would normally look like. So as we are just beginning, we do have a lot of, you know, like weaker spells and stuff since we're just starting out. But as the game progresses, you will get better spells and stuff. And you can see here we've actually had this Laura person join our fight. And so that is one thing that's kind of cool, is that while you're in a fight, anyone can just come up and join you and help you out. But since we won that fight in one fight, then they didn't really get to help out with us, but that's okay. Alrighty, so I have switched characters here. So this is my Storm guy, as I showed you earlier. You kind of got to see a little bit of the combat. If you like turn-based games, or if you like even real-life card games, I have a feeling you'll really like the combat in this game and a lot of other things that can be found in this game. Of course, combat isn't the only thing. There's also pets, fishing, crafting, gardening, player-owned houses. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I'm just kind of giving you a brief overview here. One thing that I did want to talk about is as you progress through the quest, you will eventually come to this point, or like this area. It doesn't take very long if you're looking around for quests, but as you can see here, this person's getting held up, and that's because this area, Cyclops Lane, which you saw is like not very far away from the main area. This is a paywall, so this game is pay to play. It is a monthly subscription for the most part. There are other ways to pay to play, but the monthly subscription is debatably the best way. And so yeah, unfortunately, there's only really a couple hours you can get out of the free-to-play experience. And so if you are looking for a game that's completely free to play, this game is not for you. This game does follow the payment style of a lot of older MMOs where they were subscription based. You can buy areas individually. That's what I meant when I said there were other ways to pay for them, but it's honestly, unless you think you're going to be playing Wizard101 for the rest of your life and making like tons of characters, and it's usually better for most people to just buy membership, which is only around $10, which is actually pretty cheap a month, excuse me, compared to a lot of other MMOs these days. It's actually not that bad. And a lot of times they'll have deals. Like I just bought one last month that was only for like $5. But anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that. You will hear, you can see there's a lot of people here. You will hear a lot of people say that this game is pay to win. I do not agree, except for maybe the PvP. But to be honest, a lot of people don't even really participate in the PvP. So here's my player-owned house on this guy. You can see it's not very big. Let me switch to my other guy and I can show you like a more later level player-owned house. So here's what a player-owned house might look like once you get to a little higher level. This one's fairly cheap. It's only like 8,000 gold, which honestly doesn't take you that long to get. It's just that usually the next couple houses are super expensive, and in my opinion, it's not really worth it. You can see I have a lot of little pets there. Anyways, I just wanted to finish talking about the rumors or whatever, I don't know what you'd call them, of the claims that this game is pay to win. If you play this game for the PvP, which a lot of people do, it is arguably pay to win. Some of the best in slot gear for some of the schools you do have to buy from the cash shop here. And it is the worst kind of microtransactions. It is like loot boxes, which is unfortunate. However, for the main game, and what I would consider winning, like beating the main story and the side quests and stuff, you can do every quest in the game only ever paying for membership. There is no need to ever spend a dime on this game beyond the membership, and you can win the PvE part of this game. The only other way you can win in this game is in the mini games. They have leaderboards and there are no microtransactions that affect the mini games, so you could become the top at a mini game for completely free. So really the only place that you could argue is pay to win is the PvP, and to be honest, a lot of people don't really do the PvP in this game. Most people stick to the PvE, or just running around and doing quests is what I mean by PvE if you aren't familiar. So essentially it depends on what you're doing, but for the most part I would consider this game more pay to convenience than pay to win. Because I mean, you definitely can buy a lot of stuff like with decent stats or like to help you out. but none of it's really necessary. You can get through the whole game without buying anything. You might have to ask for help, but I would consider that to be part of the game, as this is an MMO. So like, if you aren't teaming up with other players, then why are you playing an MMO? But yeah, anyways guys, that is going to do it for me. I'm sorry if this was a little rough. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I'm not super familiar with how I want to do them. And so if you were unimpressed by this style of video, please let me know how you think I could improve it down in the comments. Like, was I too rambly? Did I not show enough from the game? Should I have showed more? Should I have showed less? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to give Wizard101 a try. Like I said, you can play through the first probably like 6 to 8 hours for free if you do all the side quests in the free areas. And yeah, one more thing I did want to mention. I don't know if you've noticed, and many people probably won't, but I'm actually, not only am I playing this game in 1440, I'm actually recording this video in 1440. This is the first video that I'll be recording in this resolution, and this is something that I'd like to do from here on out. I've learned recently that apparently YouTube encodes videos differently if you submit them in a higher resolution, like 1440p or 4K. And so even at lower resolutions, the videos end up looking better, even if you can't run them at the 1440p. So I will be uploading the videos at 1440p from now on. So if you can view that resolution, I hope you're happy with that. If you can't, the video still should look nicer anyways, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do notice a difference. I'm genuinely curious, but obviously you haven't seen this game before on my channel, so you'll probably have to wait till we play a game that you've seen before, like Tomb Raider or something. I just recorded another episode of that yesterday, but that was only in 1080p. Anyways, guys, like I said, that is going to do it for me. Sorry for rambling here at the end. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. Let me know if there's another game or anything you'd like me to check out or do a recommendation on. I guess that wouldn't make sense for you guys to suggest me to do recommendations, but I guess you could at least suggest me games to check out. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I don't remember if I already said that, but if I did, oh well. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.